Before we start today, I'd like to give a special shout out and thank you to Music for Meditation for allowing me to use his music. I'm currently going to be using Extended Morrowind theme battle version, and I want to thank him a bunch for allowing me to use it, and I think it would fit the theme quite well for this video. I hope you guys enjoy it. I'm going to try and change it up for a little bit and see if I can use some of his music for a few other videos. So you change it up the usual theme I have. I'm going to see if I can change it a little bit and see. Let me know how you guys like it though. Well, otherwise then, I hope you enjoy.
Now that the Empire has arrived in Riften, we finally established a launching point into Morrowind, just in case.
And that is how we're going to start today's video off. Welcome everyone to a sort of special episode of Elder Scrolls Lore. This video has been inspired by that quote alone. And just before we get started, I'd like to remind everyone I have a Discord chat now. Feel free to join it in the link in the description below, as well as I have a link in my channel, and I'm going to comment on a link in the comment section below as well. Now, this isn't your video asking if the Empire could invade Morrowind, because we've already discussed whether or not the Empire could invade Valenwood in a previous video of mine, and we now know that they can and they will. Well, they will, but they can. So this isn't a video asking if they could. It's asking, are they planning? And basically, we're going to go in and analyze the current situation of Morrowind and the Empire alone, and see if they could. Now, this does also answer the question, is Morrowind independent? I know that's a big question going around, and most people do say yes, but yes, even though this might be a little nitpicky for an answer, but yes, this would confirm that the fact that the Empire does not control Morrowind anymore. But that's not the focus of this video. So we're going to analyze the current situation of the Empire, and then the current situation of Morrowind, and then we're going to boil it down to see whether or not, if the Empire is planning on doing so. Militarily, the Empire is more than capable of invading Morrowind. Yes, a majority of its forces are on the border between the Empire and the Dominion, but I propose an interesting concept. Now, in order for this to happen, the Empire is going to win the Skyrim Civil War. That is what's going to happen in my scenario here. As we know, the Empire is fighting, or in this scenario, fought the Civil War with farmers and merchants in Skyrim. Now, as of 201 of the 4th era, here are the layouts of the Imperial forces in Tamriel. And this is real, this isn't part of my scenario. As a note, each legion is comprised of 5,000 soldiers, or 5,000 legionnaires. There are currently 18 known legions that we know of. Now, that is 90,000 soldiers strong. The 15th Legion is somewhere in Orsinium defending it, and there is likely at least one Legion in High Rock. We'll just assume that there is one for the sake of this video, and the rest are most likely on the border between the Dominion and the Empire and in Cyrodiil. And then we have the one in Skyrim, but we don't actually know what Legion that is. We just know them as the Imperial Legion, and it is rumored that they are the 4th Legion that once was used to conquer Blackmarsh, but that is just a rumor, it has not been confirmed. So, the Empire would be most likely using one legion to occupy the province of Morrowind. As we know, General Tullius will remain in Skyrim for a long time after the Civil War ends, and he'll hint at this multiple times and talk about how he'll not see the Imperial City for a long time. And this is most likely to cement stability for the new High King or Queen of Skyrim, and to clear out any Stormcloak army or remnants in the area or in the province. I just actually got a comment lately, someone asked me if I was saying Stormcloak or Stormcloak. I say Stormcloak. And I say it sometimes kind of weird, Stormcloak, I guess. Cloak? I don't know. I do say Stormcloak though, or try to say it at least if I'm saying it fast, so I'm sorry about that. I don't mean to sound wrong. But what if there is another reason to this case? What if General Tullius is really in Skyrim to do something else? What if he is to build and continue to train his legion for another goal? This legion is comprised of Great War veterans, and at this point it would be Civil War veterans. By the end of the Civil War, many of the legion will at least be seasoned soldiers, but at least a few will be hardened soldiers as well, and with another few years of training they could become a force to be reckoned with. Now we're going to go into Morrowind situation. Morrowind isn't great either. The Red Year has still left a major hole in the province, displacing many, killing even more, and destroying much of the land around it. Using this to their advantage, a now independent Black Marsh would invade and take a significant amount of land from southern Morrowind. In addition, House Telvanni, a majority of their holdings would be destroyed, and actually when the Argonians invaded in the 5th year of the 4th era, they would wage genocide against the House Telvanni and kill many of the faction. Now, the Red Year would also destroy the city of Nissus, sorry if I pronounced that wrong, and it would go as far as to heavily damaging the cities of Balmora and Sadrith Mora and everything in that vicinity. The ruling council consisted of House Telvanni, Dress, Indoril, and Redoran, and now Sadras. They would be replacing House Halalu, and basically House Halalu was scapegoated after the Argonian invasion because they had welcomed the Empire into Morrowind, and the Empire wasn't able to spare a legion to aid them. The governing of Morrowind is also questionable. Currently, House Redoran seems to be the only capable faction of governing effectively and efficiently, for they are the only ones who have maintained an active effort in aiding those affected by the Red Year. Now, House Telvanni, as I said earlier, much of them had been purged by the Argonians, and they had lost a significant amount of power in the process. Many even feared that they had been wiped out. The only surviving members of the Telvanni family are Brelnya Mayron, a novice mage at the College of Winterhold, and Brand Shay, aka Brandel Telvanni, a pawnbroker in Riften. He would be raised by Argonians after the war, thus he's unknown to his past, but he's trying to learn about it and he'll figure it out. But there's not much else that goes into that. House Sadras is a relatively new house, and they hold an army ready to fight, but it proved ineffective to the Argonian invasion. House Indoril lost most of its power and influence after the Tiber Wars. They function now as merely a section of the New Temple faction. House Dress still remains quiet and inactive, and they were the ones who actually lost a significant amount of their land from the Argonian invasion in the 5th year of the 4th era. But what does this all mean? So the Empire is capable of advancing on Morrowind. So Morrowind's current situation is not favorable in this scenario, or granted in the current timeline. How could the Empire make the province any more stable than it already was, or how could they make it more stable to before the Empire, I quote, released its grasp on Morrowind? Now, House Redoran was the group that initially brokered a treaty with the Empire to have Morrowind join up with it peacefully. House Halalu supported the Empire, but has been reduced to little influence and power at this point. House Dress remained anti-Empire along with House Indoril, but with Indoril out and Dress being relatively quiet and having most of its land conquered, now would seem the perfect time to expand into Morrowind. Notice I didn't say invade, because in this scenario I don't think an invasion is necessary or even possible, really. Because yes, they could invade and conquer it, but that would not gain favorable results in the end, in the long run. Now, for our scenario, this will be a 2-year. Will take place 2 years after the Civil War ends. Under the command of General Tullius and his seasoned legion, the Empire will broker an alliance with House Redoran once more. With the new funds gained from the White Gold Concordat, the Empire offers to rebuild what was destroyed during the Red Year. Furthermore, they offer military support to aid in those trying to reclaim Morrowind's lost land. Now, this would bring in two factions. This would bring in House Dress, because they lost a majority of their land to the invasion of the Argonians, and they would bring in House Telvanni, seeking revenge for the genocide that was waged on their people. Now, some may argue that House Dress would still be opposed to the Empire, saying, oh, there's no way that the house that hated the Empire would now just support the Empire, and a house that's remained relatively conservative in holding on to their traditional values would refuse to support the Empire. Now, my answer to this is that in return for Imperial support and aid, Morrowind will join the Empire as it once was. In addition, the Dumner would still be able to worship who they like and keep their customs and traditions alike. And this, I think, would allow House Dress to be would convince them to join the Imperial side, and seeing that really see which way the ball was rolling, they would join up. Now, in addition to that, no other has really offered to help House Stress in their fight to reclaim their land. So I think this, in addition, will be enough to push House Stress into supporting the Empire. So with the invitation from Redoran, the Empire comes in and begins to aid all involved. Telvanni and even Dress joined forces with the Legion, and under General Tullius's experienced command, the Argonians would eventually be pushed out. At some point, I'm sure House Cedrus would most likely join, seeing which way the ball was moving, and join the advance to push the Argonian forces back. And Indoril, not really having any real option because of their lack of influence and power, would most likely go along with what's being done despite their hatred towards the Empire. And really, if every house other than them is supporting the Empire, I doubt they would like to be the odd ones out. So we come to the conclusion of this video. So is the Empire going to reclaim Morrowind? Maybe. Given the scenario here, it seems likely. A prosperous Morrowind would help the Empire's economy and boost their military power. This would also aid the Empire in the upcoming war with the Thalmor that we all know is most likely going to come. I see no reason why the Empire shouldn't commence on this plan if they could. That being said, this is just a scenario. In this given scenario, I could see the Empire doing it. Yes, the Empire would go in and reclaim Valenwood. But in the present situation with the Civil War at a standstill and nothing really moving forward, I don't see the Empire reclaiming Morrowind anytime soon. Even with the Stormcloaks winning the Civil War, as we know from it's not canon, and it's not really a loose ending. We do know from a video, it's a video that was done by Imperial Knowledge. It was basically stating that the Empire would win the Civil War regardless of what outcome, basically because of a note that was found in Fort Newgrad, and that confirmed that there was a Legion massing, an actual Legion massing, to go in and invade Skyrim in the scenario in which the Stormcloaks win, and that they would basically invade and most likely pretty much stomp on any Stormcloak forces, because it'll be a trained Legion, an actual Legion that would go in. Now, in this situation, I think after the Empire reclaims Skyrim from the Stormcloaks, if they do, that Legion in turn can spend a few years clearing out the remnants of the Stormcloaks, and they can bring stability for the new High King or Queen, and then furthermore they could use the same situation to go into Morrowind and capture it as well. But that is just my thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a really fun video to make, and basically it was all inspired off the quote of one random guard in Riften. And I'll go over it again. Now that the Empire's arrived in Riften, we finally have established a launching point into Morrowind, just in case. Now, those are my thoughts. What do you guys think? I want to know in the comments below, or come into my Discord chat and we can have a conversation there and see how you guys like this video and your thoughts on the video. Want to know you guys' opinions and everything like that. As always, please like and subscribe down for more content. I post 6 days a week, 2 times a week with the Elder Scrolls lore, and I hope to see you guys in the Discord chat, and I hope you guys enjoyed. But if you have any suggestions, please let me know in the comments below as well, or let me know in the Discord chat, and I'll see you guys around. Peace.